Now, how many of you know Ron? All right, there's a few of you who don't, so I'm going to tell you a thing or two about him. I've gotten to know Ron through my organization, and I can tell you, in addition to being a great speaker, author, and that kind of thing, he's also a really great guy. He's smart, he's passionate, and he's compassionate. And those are really great qualities, I think. Now, as a trainer, if you know him, he's an internationally acclaimed presentation trainer, speaker, and now author of a new book, From Presentation to Standing Ovation. Now, have you seen things like Shark Tank, Dragon's Den, things like that? Yeah. We all see those and it's kind of fun. Well, Ron's watched those as well, but through a slightly different lens, to try to figure out what makes really great presentations and pitches. Is it because of charm, charisma, the props, the gizmos, or is there something different to it, a different kind of story that leads to the success? Well, Ron comes at this perspective from a fairly unique position. He's been a stock analyst, and so he's been on the receiving end of a whole bunch of pitches from CEOs, CFOs, and it's basically recommended or non-recommended based on those pitches. So he's gotten to see what really makes a high-impact presentation, and that's what's found its way into his book. He's worked with experts at some of the world's largest banks, manufacturing companies, government agencies, and more. So when you read the book and you listen to him tonight, you're going to find out why Kenneth Tsang, he's a director at BMO Financial Group, he said Ron's practical tips can dramatically improve your presentations immediately. So please join me in welcoming Ron Tsang.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Ron. You're worthless. You're selfish. You should be ashamed of yourself. Words are powerful, wouldn't you agree? Especially when they come from your own mother. These are the words that a young boy with dark-colored hair would hear every single day growing up in the American Midwest. Would it surprise you to learn that this boy would grow up to be painfully shy? That he would grow up afraid to stand up, and that speaking up would make him want to throw up. But this boy was smart. He knew that if he wanted to be more, if he wanted to do more, he had to be more. And he took a course on public speaking. Would it surprise you, this boy would go on to be very successful in his career? That he would go on to speak in front of audiences around the world, audiences the size of the Air Canada Centre. Would it surprise you, this boy would grow up to be one of the 3 richest people in the world? Would it surprise you that this person is Warren Buffett? Raise your hand if you've heard of Warren Buffett. If you know Warren Buffett. Yes, yes. If you had the opportunity to meet Warren Buffett, what would you ask him? Any questions? Would you ask him anything? Stock tips? In 2007, I had the chance to meet Warren Buffett as part of a University of Toronto MBA class trip. I asked him if he had a daughter.
Smart.
Yeah. No, seriously though, what I did ask him was, you know what? What was your best investment? Mr. Buffett, what was your best investment? Do you know what he said? Myself. He said, my best investment was investing in myself. It's because he invested in his communication skills, it was the best investment he ever made. And Warren Buffett went to 2 high prestigious universities, Ivy League schools, Wharton and Columbia. But he doesn't hang up those degrees on his wall. The only piece of paper he has on his wall is from his course on public speaking. He said that was the best investment he ever received. So I ask you, what's your best investment? What are you doing to invest in yourself, to keep growing? I hope that your best investment is certainly in yourself and that you continue to grow, to continue to experience everything you can in life and to give back as much as you can. This book is divided into 3 parts. Part 1, gain unstoppable confidence. Part 2, deliver unforgettable messages. Part 3, create unbreakable connections. Part 1 is all about your attitude. Do you have the confidence to speak up in front of any audience? If you're an experienced speaker who doesn't have a problem with confidence, then you might benefit from reading Part 2 instead. Part 2, deliver unforgettable messages. And Part 3, create unbreakable connections. Part 2 will help you craft your presentation outline You'll organize and optimize your thoughts by filling out this amazing template. It's called the Ovation Outline for Speeches. It's a 9-step program to help you write your speeches. I use it as well. It's the exact same template that I use. If you're wondering how to memorize your talk, in the last chapter, part 2, you'll learn how to speak without notes. Part 3 will reveal how you can become a more engaging presenter. If you want to tell intriguing stories, make audiences laugh, and speak with powerful language. If you want to be compelling, interactive, and speak with vocal variety, and use more persuasive body language, part 3 will help you out. As philosopher Ralph Waldo Emerson observed, all the great speakers were bad speakers at first. And one of the fastest ways to succeed at something is to learn from people who are already successful at doing what you want to do. And in the case of this book, it's speaking. Sometimes the quickest way to learn and improve is to know yourself. Know yourself. Know your personality type. Are you outgoing and emotional, like television host Ellen DeGeneres or rock star Bono? If so, you can improve your presentation by being more analytical, using an analytical approach to organize your thoughts. And if you want to see what I mean, read part 2, Deliver Unforgettable Messages. On the other hand, if you're an outgoing, task-oriented, type A personality like Hillary Clinton or like Ari Gold from Entourage, then you would avoid alienating important people by learning how to build more empathy with your audience, by flipping your focus, reading chapter 2. On the other hand, if you're more reserved, analytical, introverted, detail-oriented, like Microsoft founder Bill Gates, or like Mr. Spock from Star Trek, then I think you would benefit from setting a course, Maximum Warp, for part 3, Create Unbreakable Connections. If you're more people-oriented but reserved, someone like former US President Jimmy Carter, or Mr. Rogers from the TV show Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, then I think you might find it very helpful to read part 1, How to Gain Unstoppable Confidence. So I hope that this jumping off point will help you get started. And I hope that its introduction will help you get the most out of this book. Of course, if you take the time to read it from cover to cover, you'll get the most out of it. As the Chinese proverb says, the best time to plant a tree is 20 years ago. The second best time is now. If you're scheduled to give a presentation, if you know someone who needs to make a bigger impact by speaking on the stage, by sharing their message, the time is now. Get them this book. I also want to tell you, I want to close by telling you why speaking is so important to me. It was the summer of 1979. New immigrants from New York, Francis and Hazel, were with their 1-year-old baby boy about to celebrate Francis' birthday. Francis and Hazel. But their baby was crankier than usual. They discovered the baby had a high-grade continuous fever, 40 degrees Celsius, 103 degrees Fahrenheit. They went to the hospital, best hospital in the city, and the doctor said, this is meningitis. So they ran chest x-rays, they gave him antibiotics through an IV tube, and they did a spinal puncture. But the antibiotics were ineffective. The tests were absolutely inconclusive, and the doctors didn't know what to do. So how do you think Francis and Hazel must have felt? They were terrified. They dropped down on their knees and they prayed. And after 2 weeks of this high-grade continuous fever, they noticed a change in their baby's symptoms. They noticed that the skin on their baby's hands and feet started to peel off like a glove. And they noticed that their boy's tongue and mouth started to turn as red as a strawberry. That's when the doctor said, I recognize these symptoms. You see, the doctor had just come back from a medical conference, and he'd heard a speaker share these exact same symptoms. A rare pediatric disease, a rare new disorder called Kawasaki disease. The doctor in Toronto said, I recognize these symptoms, we can save your baby. So Francis and Hazel were my parents, and I was that baby. I was Canada's first survivor of Kawasaki disease. Why am I here today? Why did I make it? Because my parents fought for me. Because doctors don't keep information to themselves. They share it with others. And because I was meant to share this message with you. A speaker saved my life. If it wasn't for that doctor sharing that information, I wouldn't be here today. A speaker saved my life. What stories or messages do you have that the world needs to hear, that others need to hear? You have this amazing ability to change and touch lives. Your message is more important than you know. Thank you. And there's some books here, guys.